I'm Andy Walker. I run a company called Living Your Dreams Consultancy. I'm also proudly a supporter and trustee vice chairman of the A Centre, which looks at communication aids. So what we're looking at today is what's called the iPortal 2, a system that's been produced by Dynamics. They also produce a little box here, which is called the DX2, that helps me operate the wheelchair. If you will, it's the kind of brain of the wheelchair on the left-hand side. So on a day-to-day basis, I will obviously get up in the morning, and my first priority is to move out of the bedroom. So if you look at the DX2 here, you'll see that the function is number 4, which is my speed. On the wheelchair, I can go left and right. I use a chin-controlled joystick, by the way. So forwards, back, and left. Right. Done the wrong way, of course. I am from Oldham. But again, if you look towards my chin, there's a second button here, which is a selector. And if we now focus back on the DX2, it might sound complicated, but as I'm flicking, just have a look here, Will, onto a different system, the Dynamics mode rather than number 4, which is to use a wheelchair, which means rather than drive, when I press this and focus on the screen, I've actually got a cursor on the telephone, which by navigating my chin up and down, I'll go to the top left hand corner, bottom right hand corner, all of which I'm just simply doing with the chin, just like I drive into a car. I'm just driving and navigating around the screen. So what's the benefit of this is the most important thing. So because I run a business, I'm consistently asked to do emails. So if I hover over the email, and now if you look to the left here, I'm going to select, by just flicking my chin left, I'm going to select the mail. Okay, so that's gone into the mail application, and I want to send an email to a client. I will flick again left. That is of course the select button. And really interestingly, I've now got a keyboard. So with the keyboard, that enables me to type. So I'll send this one to Will, who's our cameraman for the day, just because this is a very inclusive session. So Will Wade of the A Centre, left to select, remember. I'll put a subject in. Now rather than type the subject, which can be cumbersome and take a bit of time, I'm going to use this feature here, which is just the ability to dictate through the Apple application. A fantastic thing for me. So if I tap left, test for video, that enables me to save a bit of time and frustration constantly having to rock my head left. I'll do this again, and now I will scribe an email. With this one, let's hope it gets something wrong, because what I want to demonstrate is the ability to edit, which is a really important part of the cursor feature of iPortal. So to the left, hi Will, new paragraph. Thanks for coming round today, comma, I've really enjoyed the process of filming, question mark, smiley face. Okay, so I purposely put a correction in there. What I want to do is put an exclamation mark in there. So that's one of my business things. So that's a reminder, close that down for now. Work for tomorrow. So I'm now going to hover home with this bit here. Again, flick to left. Bring it down. Delete that. And create. As you would with your fingers. I'm doing it with a chin. Through Bluetooth, by the way. None of this is connected. Look, it's completely wireless. All is connected. And if I now send that, again, flicking to the left, dead simple, only a simple flick. That's now gone into the ether. Again, just like using your fingers. Okay, so what I want to show in the context of, so you're in a social media application, this is a new phone, so I've not loaded that up yet. Or for me, I'm in a mail application that I would want to, as you would with your fingers, scroll up and down a list. So we have here my Hotmail account, and I would want to get to something which was sent, let's say the other day. I have a page up feature there, which is perhaps not quite as useful as page down, but you can see that is attempting to page up. I have actually, if I go into this, and go into the custom features, I'm hoping that I've got the page 2 down. That's how I've named it. Page 2 down. Well, now successfully. If we do it a bit harder, it should go a bit faster. Up and down.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's quite neat.
And then same with page right and left.
Come a little bit closer.
So page right and left.
Yeah.
Has the same functionality. So basically I can navigate around any application. Okay. So now we have if we hover above here, it might be difficult for you to see, but for me, we've simply gone into the Bluetooth setting. You can see this iPortal has found it there, and it's automatically found the Connect. So I'm now navigating on a computer, and I'll go into a folder. Let's have a look at Kilimanjaro project, for example.
So how do you double click, Andy? How are you double clicking?
So
there?
double click is simply hit it twice.
Okay,
Yeah,
hit it twice.
That's simple.
Okay.
I can also go to this. I can hover on things and select things. This must be a PDF.
Can you right click?
Yeah, so the right click option, if I hover off this, again that's a PDF, so that wouldn't work. But on here, I right click, and that brings it.
Okay, so is that just moving your chin to the right?
Simply, just as you would on a cursor. On a laptop, previous to my accident, I'd have a left option and a right option.
Yeah.
My left, as you can see, that selects it.
Yeah.
A double click.
Is that?
Is that, and then a right and click.
Okay.
Brings up the menu.
The thing about iPortal is, Andy, you've got these kind of small gestures you're making with the joystick. You're making a short hit to the left, a short hit to the right, and you do that in double or two double sequences to do that. So some people might find that difficult, Andy. This system might not be for everybody for that reason, but for you, yeah, that works quite well for you. I'm just going to give one little look at what's going on below your chair, if that's all right. So basically, underneath here, Andy's got this little unit, which is the iPortal 2. It actually has a USB slot in there, so he can charge his phone if he wanted to out and about on the go, or maybe anybody else's if they needed to. And it basically is powered in by one cable, as you can see, into what they call the DX2 bus. So there's a whole lot of wiring under the chair, and you just plug it straight into the bus. And then the main master unit, which is Andy's little remote over here, actually needs to be programmed to change all the different functions. So it's a pretty simple unit to set up and use. And yeah, there you go.